many students. We have many students that actually start with community colleges in the United States and they transfer to universities with no problem. So, Andrea, next slide. So why do students choose community colleges? Why do they choose St. Petersburg College? A lot of this information is very similar to all community colleges. So most community colleges are all going to be small class sizes, so 20, 25 students to one professor in the class. They have lots of community colleges have several campuses. So if you want to be at a bigger campus, you can. If you want to be at a smaller campus, you can. They have that. Many of them, most of them have scholarships and also something called linkages in Florida. For example, in Florida, we have several countries throughout the world that they can provide in-state tuition. So you're paying a lot less for your education. Typically, compared to universities, community colleges have the cost half of what it costs to go to university. Same professors, same PhDs, same classes, everything's the same, but you can save a lot of money by going to a community college. It's the same credentialing, everything. It's just that community colleges focus mainly on 2-year degrees, so like associate's degrees, and then many of them have also now bachelor's degrees. So lots of them have easy transfers to universities. Next slide. So this is kind of why students go to community colleges. They can start off in an English program if they need English. If your English is not 100%, many colleges have English classes, so you can practice your English, get your English really good, and then you can go to your associate's degree, which we call a 2-year degree. That's why we say 2 + 2. So you get your 2-year associate's degree, and then you can stay at the community college if you want. Sometimes they have bachelor's degrees that you can take. Sometimes they don't. But then that's where you can transfer to a university like Central Florida and go right there after you finish your 2-year degree. Next slide. So you asked what kind of majors do we have? Lots of majors. Most community colleges have everything: science, technology, education, business, arts, engineering. So you can do your 2 years at a community college and then take all your classes and transfer very easily to a university. And you can transfer to university in your state, or you can transfer to university out of the state. So if you want to go from Florida to Hawaii, we just had a student, a student from Vietnam who transferred from our college to Hawaii. So she wanted to go to Hawaii and she transferred, no problem. Next slide. Admissions process. So what does that look like? Well, I mentioned tuition for us, which is very similar to many colleges, community colleges in the United States, is a lot less. So if you were to go to a university in our state of Florida, it's around $7,500 to $8,000. Where us, it's more about $4,500 a semester. So it's a little over $9,000 a year for tuition only to go to school here. We have low cost, as I mentioned. Also, there's payment plans. So if you want to pay in 1 or 2 payments, you can do that as well. Andrea, I know, has it at University of Central Florida, and so do we. It's called the Latin American Caribbean Scholarship, and it allows you to receive a $500 scholarship for a semester or various semesters, and you will get in-state tuition. So what that means is your tuition might go from $4,600 to $1,500 at our college, plus a $500 scholarship. So your tuition would be $1,000 for the first semester if you got the scholarship. And we give out about 10 to 20 scholarships every semester. And there's a whole bunch of countries that offer that. So something to think about. Next slide. So where is St. Pete? We're located next to Florida. You can see the United States. Florida has 28 community colleges, lots of community colleges. California has over 60 community colleges. And you can see all the different locations with our SPC sticker on there in our area. Next slide. So this is some pictures of our area, lots of things to do. We're an hour away from Disney World, which is very close to University of Central Florida. We have a beautiful on the beaches. This is all minutes away from our campuses. So this is what you'll get in a lot of community colleges that are on the coast in Florida. Next slide. So we have right now over 150 students from 55 different countries. This is our international club. They meet every week. We also have our one of our buildings we just finished. This is where we have our international office, as well as some other things like tutoring and things and advising and counselors. Next slide. Sports, we have sports. Most community colleges have sports, so that's great. If you like the sports or watch or play sports, you can try out for sports. They are very competitive. We are also, we personally were just recently ranked 3rd best college in Florida. So there's lots of good things in Florida with community colleges. So it's definitely worth looking at a community college if you want to start there and then move to a university. Next slide, Andrea. This is some pictures of our college. We're the oldest community college in Florida, about 27,000 students. So it's a very large college. Our largest campus has about 9,000 students, but there's other community colleges that have less, and there's some community colleges that have more. So it's kind of like a small university in a sense when you look at it, but lots of community colleges have all kinds of different things for you to participate in. Next slide. Clubs, we have clubs, over 100 student clubs at our college. So you have clubs, you can participate in that. Next slide. So next steps to go to SBC, what does that look like? Well, you're gonna complete your application. It takes about 30 minutes. This is common with every community college. You're gonna pay a fee, which every community college has a fee. We are open access. So what that means is you're not gonna have to have a special SAT score or a special test or GPA. We accept everybody. The difference is it depends on where you're going to start. So once you submit all your documents, your transcripts and all that stuff, we'll give you a test to see where your English is and also where your science and math is. Excuse me. So we're going to see where you place, and that test is free and can be given to anybody that comes to our college and takes it. So the one thing I want to tell, though, is some community colleges do not have dormitories. They have apartments nearby. So if you're looking for dormitories and housing, sometimes that can be a challenge with some community colleges. So keep that in mind. You might have to get an apartment across the street or something that is not connected to the college, because community colleges typically do not have dormitories nearby, or they don't own dormitories. So you may have a little bit of a challenge with that, but lots of community colleges have apartments nearby that you can rent, that they know companies that rent them out to students. So just keep that in mind. So you've done all this, you've finished SBC, and now you want to make your next step. So next slide, Andrea. You graduated from your community college. What do you want to do now? Like what I did 2 years, I graduated my associate's degree. Where do I go now? And I think Andrea will kind of fill in the next steps for you on after you graduate from a community college.
All right, thanks, Frank. So as Frank mentioned, my name is Andrea Davis, and I'm the International Recruitment Liaison for UCF Global at the University of Central Florida. So once you have graduated from SPC or another state college in Florida, it is just a quick 2-hour drive over to our campus at UCF. So in 4 years between SPC and UCF, you'll have a chance to experience 2 great Florida cities. So I'd like to welcome you to the University of Central Florida. We have a beautiful main campus here in East Orlando. We're about 30 minutes from an international airport, as well as 30 minutes from world famous theme parks of Disney and Universal. And so you'll soon see why we are a great university for transfer students. To give a brief snapshot of UCF today, it's important to emphasize that UCF is a large metropolitan research university. Our size is not only reflected in the number of students, with over 70,000 students, but in the number of programs, resources, and opportunities available. As you can see, we have over 230 different degree programs across 13 colleges. We have resources like career services, the Office for Experiential Learning. We have nearly 800 different student organizations that you can take part in. So part of the joy in having this transfer process is to have those first 2 years in a small classroom, supportive environment, and then join a large university where you can have access to a number of different resources. As for rankings, we are considered one of the most innovative universities in the nation through unique degree programs in hospitality management and video game design, for example. We're also considered a best education value by offering a high quality education at an affordable price. And finally, we are proud to be a diverse and inclusive institution. Last year, we were designated as a Hispanic serving institution by the U.S. Department of Education, which means that over 25% of our student enrollment is of Hispanic origin. Here are some of our most popular programs in the bottom left here, but we have more than 100 different majors to choose from at the undergraduate level. So taking that Associate of Arts degree to a major at UCF allows you to take advantage of a number of different fields. So how does this 2+2 work? To kind of break down the steps here. So first, as Frank said, you'll apply to SPC to pursue your Associate of Arts degree. So well, you can choose a major here. This Associate of Arts degree is mostly general studies. So you're taking communications, math, science, social sciences, and you'll see this lines up perfectly with a university's first year requirements, what we call general education program. So as you're completing your AA degree, you're completing those general requirements, and you can choose your transfer plan. So of course, I hope you choose UCF, but there are other universities to choose from, and you can even choose to take a year to work if you'd like after graduating from your AA. But then when you're ready, it's time to apply to UCF. And at this point, undergraduate admissions does not need your high school GPA, your SAT, or even TOEFL scores unless your English proficiency hasn't been met by coursework in your AA degree. So UCF will be primarily evaluating your GPA and that you will be successfully completing your AA degree. So then it's time to dive into your bachelor's, and you'll have the general education requirement out of the way, and you can focus on your specific major in those last 2 years. So at the end, you'll get to walk away with 2 diplomas, one for your associate's degree and one for your bachelor's degree. So as for benefits, you'll have that simplified transfer application process as opposed to a first time in college application that requires so many different test scores. You'll be saving costs, and you'll be able to stay in those small class sizes. Whereas a first year student at UCF could be in a 300-person classroom. By starting at SPC and then transferring to UCF, your UCF courses will be at that point in your major and will be smaller class sizes as well. As a transfer student, it is important to keep in mind you do still need to submit an application. So with the transfer application, there's an online form to fill out and a $30 fee. And then you'll need to send all of your official transcripts from SPC, as well as any other college or university attended. That includes if you took some credits at a university back home in Brazil or another country. And then finally, you will need to provide some immigration documents in order to transfer your CVIS record for your student visa from SPC to UCF. So finally, I'd like to echo Frank's message about these scholarship opportunities. You can apply for them during your associates. You can also apply at the bachelor's and even graduate level for that matter. These 2 scholarships operate as that out-of-state tuition waiver. So with sponsorship at UCF, that change from international student tuition to Florida resident tuition can show changes from about $9,000 a semester to about $2,500 per semester. So that's up to $14,000 a year in savings. So there are 2 ways to apply. The Florida Brazil Linkage Institute, if you're from Brazil, that application is through the University of Florida. Since this is a statewide initiative, it applies to any school in Florida. So I'll drop the link for that in the chat momentarily. And then as for the LAC, or the Latin American Caribbean Scholarship, at UCF, each academic department has their own application process. So as soon as you're transferring, you need to contact your academic advisor to learn more about how they handle the sponsorship. But keep in mind, if your department doesn't have the funding for that year, you can always come to our UCF Global Department, which is the international hub on campus, and we can also be able to assist if we have additional funds as well. So a lot of ways to be able to save costs and still get a very high quality education. So with that, I'd like to turn it over and see if we have any questions. Thank you all so much for joining us. Oh, wait, but I know we're saving questions to the end. Is that right, Attila?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure to keep an eye out for questions and bring them back at the end. Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
So at this moment, we'd be handing it over to Rod, a gente vai transferir agora para o Rod, que vai falar para a gente também do College of Central Florida.
Hello, everyone. Let me go ahead and activate my PowerPoint view for you all to see. Good. So yes, good afternoon. My name is Rod. I am coming from the College of Central Florida, not to be mistaken with the University of Central Florida. We do share the same name, Central Florida, same regions, but we are the college, they are the university. We are the community college, they are the university. But we do work closely together to ensure that international students studying in Central Florida do receive the education that they deserve and that is top-notch. So let's go ahead and start off with what makes the College of Central Florida special and who we are. We are an accredited institution by the Southern Association of Colleges and School Commissions to award associate's and bachelor's degrees. What does that mean? Well, it means that we are legit. We are accredited by the Department of Education, both federal and both also the state of Florida, to give out associate's, bachelor's degrees, college credit certificates, and occupational certificates. We are also an institution that is certified by the Student and Exchange Visitor Program to accept degree-seeking international students from all over the world. We do not care where you come from. We will accept you if you do meet our admissions criteria. Additionally, the College of Central Florida received the honor and distinction of being selected as one of the top 15 colleges in the entire United States to compete in the 2021 Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence. We're proud of this. We're extremely happy for this honor because the award is based on performance in student outcomes, which includes graduation rates, improvement in student success, and equitable student success. So throughout this presentation or throughout this webinar, you're going to be hearing about the 2+2 program. So what is the 2+2 program? It's not only a mathematical equation. It's actually a way where you can actually obtain a 4-year degree at a lower cost. So for example, the first 2 years, you could start at a community college. It can be at St. Pete, it can be over here at the College of Central Florida, or any other community college in the state of Florida. Your first 2 years, you will be essentially doing your general educational courses. These are your mathematics, your humanities, social science, and electives as well. Any degree that you're going into, whether it be business, whether it be medicine, nursing, rocket science, biology, you name it, you still need to do general educational coursework. You still need to do your math, your English, your social sciences, your humanities, that sort of educational courses. Luckily for you, you do have the opportunity to do it at a community college at a fraction of the price, which is why we're all here today. After you finish your first 2 years, you also have the opportunity to either transfer out to a university, be it UCF, UF, USF, or any other university outside of the state of Florida, or you can even continue your studies at a community college if they offer the bachelor's degree. Here at CF, we do offer a bachelor's degree for our students, so essentially, you can continue studying here at CF if you do like it, and you can obtain a bachelor's degree here. So let's go ahead and talk more about the 2+2 transfer pathway. These are just some of the degrees that we do offer here at CF with the 2-year degree programs. Highlighted, are the ones that are most popular here with our students and international students as well. Business, computer science, digital media, engineering, medicine, nursing, and psychology are all one of our most popular degrees and transfer pathways that we have here. If you don't see what you want to study here, then don't worry. You can always contact me. I'll give you my email address so that we can find and see if we actually have your program. I'll drop it in the chat below because we do have over 150 transfer pathway programs for you. So there is a high chance that we have something for you here at CF. Additionally, those who accomplish a 2-year degree, specifically an Associate of Science, do have the opportunity to do an internship. They have an opportunity to work locally for that time while they're studying. And on top of that, those who do finish the Associate of Science or Associate of Arts can also, once again, transfer to a different university once they're finished, or if not, finish their 4-year degree here with us. Listed to the right, you'll see some of our Associate of Science degrees that we do offer to our students. In addition, we are a very popular transfer school, meaning our students do like to come here, get their associate's degree and transfer out to a different school. Our top 3 transfer schools are the University of Central Florida, second, the University of Florida, and then third, the University of South Florida. Now, we do have articulation agreements with a couple of these schools. For example, with UCF. I see them. I see you, Andrea. Yeah. UCF. We do have basically a degree with a degree with a guarantee, which basically guarantees a degree for you should you finish your at CF and go to UCF. Basically meaning if you finish here, you will be guaranteed acceptance at UCF. Of course, you would still have to apply. You would still have to transfer your official transcripts, do the whole paperwork, apply online, but you are guaranteed to be accepted at UCF, USF, or FAMU, or UF Online, should you finish here at the College of Central Florida with your associate's degree, and of course, good behavior, you stay out of trouble, so you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and meet Giovanna. Giovanna is one of our Brazilian students. She recently graduated last year from CF. We're incredibly proud of her. She graduated with top marks here, and she actually ended up transferring over to UF. She drops by here and now because we're about 30 minutes to 45 minutes away from UF. So our students do visit us after they graduate, and we actually encourage it because we have an open campus. Giovanna, she says this quote, "For me, the College of Central Florida was a great way to be introduced to the United States. They have a great team that helped me find my right path, and Ocala is my second home right now." Yes, so that is Giovanna, one of our students. Let's go ahead and talk about our campus. We do have 4 campuses in 3 different counties. We have the Ocala campus, where I am currently located. That is our main campus. We also have our Citrus campus, which is our second biggest campus, and our third campus, Levy campus, and lastly, Vintage Farm. Now, yes, we do have a farm for our students to study in. This is typically for our students who are going into equine studies. Basically, students who want to study horse medicine, horse physiology. We do have a campus for you to go out there and study. And I'll explain why in this slide. So the Ocala camp, the area, we are known as the horse capital of the world. We are a suburban city type. I mean, we're growing, but we're not still as populated as, let's say, Petersburg, Tampa, or Orlando. We just have about 60,000 people living in our town/city, which makes us the 49th most populous city in the state of Florida. But what makes Ocala special is the fact that they have over 400 thoroughbred farms in the World Equestrian Center. So if you're into that, if you're into equine studies, maybe CF will be one of the top choices because that's what we do here at Ocala. We raise horses and yeah, we prep them for competition too. So that's what we do. So to the right side, you'll see a couple pictures. You'll see downtown Ocala right here in the top right. And then to the right, you'll see our college. That's building 5. I'm currently located there, including our clock tower. In the middle, our downtown Ocala area. Bottom left, our Appleton Museum. And the right, just one of our mini horse farms available here in Ocala. So student housing, we do offer student housing. It's located right across our campus. We try to offer a home away from home feeling. Essentially, any student who wants to go into student housing will get their own room. They will also have to share a bathroom with only one other person, but they will share a living room with 3 other people. So in total, you'll be sharing the apartment with 4 people, but you will have your own room. College Square does have free Wi-Fi, basketball courts, computer lab, volleyball courts, TV and lounge, ping pong areas, mailbox, photocopy, fax machines, basically anything you need to survive as a student while living here at CF and in the Ocala area, and to make you feel like you're home. So our locations, we are 30 minutes from Gainesville, about an hour and a half from Orlando, or an hour and a half from UCF, Disney, Universal, theme parks. Most of our students like to drive over there over the weekend. About an hour and a half from Tampa, 2 hours from Daytona Beach, Daytona, and about 4 hours from Miami. And this is driving there. So let's quickly talk about scholarships. This is the most popular question that we do get. We do have merit-based scholarships at our college. What does this mean? So this means that you have to display certain talents or a certain merit in order for you to obtain the scholarship. So for example, for sports, you need to be able to play softball. You also need to be able to be accepted into the team. And this also goes along with basketball too. Academics. If you are a good student, if you perform well during your time here at CF, you get a 3.3 GPA and above, you do qualify for our academic community of scholars scholarship and program. Performing arts. If you are a theater person, if you like acting, if you like playing an instrument, we do have scholarships for you too. And lastly, private. We encourage students to potentially find private scholarships. You never know what you will find out there, and if it's legitimate, we will accept it. So these are just a couple of requirements here at CF in order to join us. You do need a passport in order to fly here and meet us. You do need a high school certificate. We are just like any other public college. We just require students to finish their high school diploma. We don't require ACT, SAT, or any of that sort of testing because we will test you once you are on our campus. Now, don't get scared. This is not a pass or fail exam. If you fail, we're not going to say, hey, you can't join us, you need to leave. No, we will just simply, this test is simply just to tell us what your skill set is and where to put you in, what classes to put you in. We also do need a financial declaration of $20,663. And this is just to demonstrate that you have enough money to survive here while studying at the College of Central Florida, and you have enough money to support yourself. To recap, YCF affordability. We are a very affordable college, but we do have a high quality of education. We also have opportunities, over 150 pathway programs available to our students. And lastly, partnerships that are guaranteed, basically guaranteed transfer admissions to top Florida universities, such as UCF, USF, and also FAMU. This is just my information. You can go ahead and contact me there, write me an email, call me if you're into that too. But yeah, that should be it. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much, Rod. That was great. Thank you so much. So we'll hand it right over to Michelle.
There we go. Would help if I unmute myself. So thank you everyone for joining me today from Joliet Junior College here in Joliet, Illinois. And I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And everybody hopefully can see my slides now. And we hope that you would make Joliet Junior College your first choice, because we are the very first public community college established in the US back in 1901. So we were the very first public community college founded right here in the United States. And we are consistently ranked in the top 100 schools that award associate degrees here in the US. We were also an Aspen Prize Award winner for the top 150 schools in 2021. And we also received this year the National Award for Excellence in Advancing Diversity from the American Association of Community Colleges. We have over 200 degree programs for students to choose from. So I can guarantee that there will be something within those 200 degree programs that will be the right fit for you. We have affordable tuition rates, and students who do decide to transfer on to complete a bachelor's degree, the benefit of starting at a community college is that you'll receive 2 credentials. So students who start at a bachelor degree awarding school for 4 years will ultimately receive 1 credential, their bachelor's degree. But students who decide to start at a community college will actually receive 2 credentials. You'll receive your associate degree. And then if you do decide to transfer on to that bachelor degree program, you'll be awarded your bachelor degree as well. As a community college, we also are an open access institution, meaning we do not look at grade point averages, high school GPA. We do not look at test scores, and we'll talk about our admission requirements here in just a second. We have many dual degree partnership programs and guaranteed transfer agreements with many schools throughout not just the state of Illinois, but across the United States. And I will talk more in depth about those in just a minute. We are located about 72 kilometers or 45 miles outside of the city of Chicago. So if you are familiar with the city of Chicago at all, we're just about an hour's drive in good traffic from the downtown Chicago location. We're also a very safe campus. We have 24-hour campus police monitoring, deputized police force right here on campus. So students are always very safe and feel very secure on our campus. And we also have a small class size, so about a 23-to-1 student faculty ratio. So about those guaranteed admission agreements that I was referring to, we have guaranteed admission agreements with quite a few schools, some of them that are not listed here, but just a few to list, meaning that once you complete your 2-year degree with Joliet Junior College, you will be granted automatic admission to these schools. We also have dual degree partnership programs with a couple of our partners, which means that you can start your program, your 4-year program at our institution, but it's essentially the start of your 4-year bachelor degree program, as they recognize that they are in partnership with us. And so all of your credits and everything will transfer seamlessly into their school, and you'll be on the path towards getting your bachelor's degree from one of those institutions. We also have guaranteed transfer agreements by program or focus area with at least 13 different universities, but that list is growing day by day. And just to kind of give you an idea of what some of those are, some of our fields like nursing, business, engineering, or some of our health-related programs, they will transfer seamlessly into some of our partner institutions' curriculum. We also have state-of-the-art facilities, particularly for those students that might be looking to get into career and technical programs. We have a automotive technology program that has a automotive facility that is very close to kind of mimic what a traditional automotive repair shop would look like. We have a nursing facility that has some actual kind of patients or mechanical, patients for our students to work with. We have a veterinary technology facility here on our campus. We also have a state-of-the-art separate building in our downtown Joliet location that is dedicated to our culinary arts program. It is a 5-story building with 3 stories dedicated to open restaurants and facilities that are open and run by our students, both front of the house as well as the cooking of the food, and the public from our Joliet area can go in at any time and participate in dining at one of those facilities. So some of the student services that we have available at Joliet Junior College: Tutoring and Learning Center that offers 24/7 tutoring capabilities for all of our students. We have Disability Support Services, a Center for Multicultural Access and Success, my office, which is International Student Services, our Office for Student Activities. We have over 30 clubs and organizations that are active on our campus, and our International Student Club is one of the most active organizations currently on our campus. We also have career services that will assist you in finding on-campus employment, help you work on a resume or prepare for an interview. And we also have academic advising services. So just to kind of briefly talk about some of our athletic programs, we are the NJCAA division, and we offer all of the sports listed here. Our cross-country team was the National Division Championship award winner last year. So a great outstanding team if you're interested in running. And I've featured here one of our male soccer team players. His name is Mateus. He's actually a first-year student here at Joliet Junior College from Argentina, and he is on our men's soccer team. And so the benefit of starting at a community college, especially if you are an athlete, is, as I mentioned, we have those guaranteed partnership, transfer partnership agreements with a lot of great schools, some Division I schools such as Iowa State. So if you are an athlete and you are looking to potentially level up to a Division I sport, and you work hard enough, then some of our coaches will certainly help you be able to try out for the Division I teams. We do have multiple campuses. So in the top right-hand corner, you will see our main campus just on the outskirts of Joliet, which is where my office currently is. And then we have in the bottom right corner our newest facility, which is our city center location in downtown Joliet. And that is the culinary facility that I referred to. We also have a campus in nearby Romeoville, just about 15 minutes from our main campus location here, where students sometimes choose to take courses. And then if you are a student interested in some more of our agricultural programs, such as animal science, you would likely be taking classes at one of our other satellite campus locations that have the facilities for those programs. So as a community college, we do not have housing, typical dormitories on campus. However, we do work with nearby apartment complexes as well to house international students. And these are a couple of the options that are located nearby. We are on a public bus line, and so each of these complexes sits on a public bus line that drops students off directly at the front door of our main campus. So very accessible to campus, and sometimes students, if they know another student coming in from their home country, they may already have a roommate set up, which can make the tuition, of course, more, or sorry, not the tuition, but the rent more affordable per month. So our application process starts with an application that can be emailed to myself or our international student email address there, along with your supporting documents. It is a free application that can be downloaded at the address provided here under the international student section. And our current requirements for admission, again, similar to the other community colleges presenting today, we do not require SAT, ACT scores. We currently only require your English proficiency test scores, the verification of your high school equivalency having been completed, and a copy of your passport. And then starting in the fall 2022, we are hoping to have our academic ESL program up and running and being able to host F1 international students. And so if your English is not quite good enough to potentially meet one of these proficiency test scores, that's okay. Stay tuned for fall 2022, and we will not require these test scores starting with that semester. And you can take some ESL courses to get you up to the college level of English that would be needed. So the documentation that we require for the I-20 for you to get your student visa to come and study with us is $25,548. However, that's not the actual cost that you're paying the college annually. Our tuition rate annually is about $10,728 per academic year. We do have some scholarship opportunities available. So all new international students who are able to successfully get their visa and join us in the US to study at Joliet Junior College will be awarded a one-time $1,000 scholarship for your first semester of studies. And then every semester after that, you become eligible to apply through our foundation for any number of different scholarships that you might be eligible for based upon GPA or the program that you are enrolled in, a number of different various criteria factors. And those award packages can vary kind of all over the place. So many different opportunities for future scholarships. So there's my contact information. Again, I'm Michelle Vale from Joliet Junior College. If you are able to scan the QR code here, that will directly link you to not only our application, but a interest form. So if you want more information after the session today, feel free to fill out that interest form to be able to stay in contact with me. And I hope to chat with you soon.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate that presentation. Thank you so much. And with that, I also extend my thanks to Rod and Andrea and Frank. I'm switching between Portuguese and English now. Eu quero dar a chance a todo mundo de tirar suas dúvidas, né? Se restaram dúvidas, gente. Eu quero pedir a vocês que escrevam no chat, caso tenham perguntas que vocês queiram esclarecer com os nossos convidados hoje, né? Acho que a gente pode concordar que foram apresentações bem informativas, então a gente recebeu bastante informação, mas se tiver alguma coisa que vocês queiram confirmar A gente pode fazer isso agora. So I'm opening it up for questions. We'll see what questions we got in the chat, but I do want to address that we received a question about studying medicine at a community college. Thank you so much, Frank, for addressing that question. The question was, is there medicine in this community college? Could you, just in case people haven't checked the chat, could you tell us a little bit about your answer, Frank, or if anyone has anything else to add?
Okay, so I guess you have some different options at community colleges. As I think Andrew mentioned, a couple others have mentioned, your first 2 years, typically a U.S. college or university, are going to be your general subjects, mathematics, composition, sciences, things like that. So you could take your first 2 years at a community college and take all those general education classes that you'd have to take in a university, and then you could just transfer that to a university and continue on with medicine or pre-med, whatever you would choose to do from there. You could stay at a community college. For example, we have about 12 or more bachelor's degrees available. And so you could stay, some students will stay with us and do their bachelor's degree in biology, and then they'll transfer to University of Central Florida or University of South Florida and continue on with some of their, medicine obviously is very general. You could be, research and all kinds of different things with that. So yes, there are some different options depending on what you do. Like I said, some students will stay with us and do the bachelor's degree, which is the 4 years, because they realize maybe it works better with them staying here or financially or whatever. But you have a couple of different options with that. But typically, you can do your 2 years at a community college and then transfer to a university to further on your medical education.
That's perfect. Yeah. Anything to add, Michelle, Rod, or Indra?
We do also offer nursing programs. So you'll find at some community colleges, international students do not qualify for nursing programs, but our institution is one of the ones that we will admit international students to a nursing program. And we have partnership agreements with some schools where you may get your credential to earn your RN or registered nurse credential, and then transfer to one of our partner schools that seamlessly will get you into a BSN or your bachelor's for nursing.
Sorry, Rob, I think we can't hear you right now. Oops.
Hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So in the case of CF, Frank did cover it perfectly. We don't offer necessarily, medicine 4-year degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, but what we do offer is a medicine transfer pathway program. I don't know if that's what the student is interested in, and if I can go ahead and share my screen so that the student can see. We do offer these, medicine type degrees here at CF, nursing, that type of stuff. But once again, these are pathway programs that are dedicated to start the student up. Take their basic general educational courses and some medical courses as well. For example, you'll see human growth and development, stuff like that. Once again, this is just to start off the students in the first 2 years, and then move on.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think it's important to remind our students, that while in Brazil and in other South American countries, it's often possible to study medicine at your first 4-year degree. In the United States, often you have to follow a different path to arrive at a medical degree. It's usually a higher level degree. So thank you for adding to that. I do have a few questions that I've collected over the week from students who might not have been here today. So some of the students were worried about the possibility of being placed in remedial courses. Should they be worried? How does that affect their experience or their time at a community college?
So I guess I'll just jump in here. So we have placement testing, which is free and it can be taken from your home country. So if you're in Brazil or somewhere and you wanted to take the test before you came to the US, you could do that as well. So you wouldn't have to worry about one less thing to do when you arrive. But as far as remedial classes and things, so you will be tested for English proficiency since English is not your first language. And that will be administered, like as I mentioned, through a computer, either at home or here on campus. And you will have to, see how you test on that. If you don't do well, obviously you'll have to probably maybe take a class or two. But the good news is those classes can be taken just like a general college class on campus. English for academic purposes, we call them, or EAP. We also have an intensive English program, which is a little more in depth, same price, but it's just more hands-on with you and more hours in the classroom. So it's kind of up to the student. And then secondly, as far as your EG or other placement testing, we'll give that on mathematics and science and things like that. And it's really, the worry I tell students, you don't want to be put into somewhere that you're not going to do well. So we want to make sure the whole purpose of this is to make sure that you're prepared and you have the tools you need to be successful in the classroom. Because if you get put into a class that is maybe too difficult, or you're having difficulty with the English language or whatever it may be, maybe mathematics, people are not very good at mathematics sometimes, you're going to waste a semester, you're going to waste money, you're going to be upset. So I think it's important to take these placement tests that you would get at many colleges and use them as a resource to see where do you land, where do you fit into your skill level, because you definitely don't want to waste time and money, especially housing and other things that will cost placement. So there are some options with testing and testing out of things and stuff, but it's important to take these placement tests.
Great, thank you.
I can jump in as well, just as an add-on. If for any students who have taken courses at a university in their home country in Brazil, Argentina, those credits can count towards your degrees, and that's important to keep in mind when you're applying, that you can use those towards your degrees. So typically what we ask for is a credential evaluation. There are a couple third-party companies that will take your credits from your university in your home country, it may be in another language, and they'll be able to convert it to a US style system to know what your GPA was and how many credits they would go towards a particular program if the university is accredited and such. So in that way too, you'll also have some credits towards a degree that you wouldn't need to go back and take those requirements per se. So whenever you have credits from a college or university in your country, make sure you let admissions know.
Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, that's really important. I want to make sure I get to Roberta's question here on the chat. She's asking, she's saying that at Joliet Junior College, JGC, there is a guest student program. Is it possible to receive students who are studying doctoral degree?
Yes, and I've been chatting with Roberta as a direct message here to answer her questions. But for anybody else that's curious, we don't have guest student programs for students already in doctoral programs. Certainly, if you don't have a doctoral degree yet, but you want to get on the pathway towards that, then we can certainly get you started at the associate degree level to move up to your bachelor's and then eventually a PhD or doctoral degree. But we only award associate degrees like most community colleges.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with everyone. Thank you. One more question I often get about community colleges, and I'm sure it'll be useful for everyone to know. Many international students look forward to studying in the U.S. For the possibility of, joining a campus community and being engaged with their campus community. And a few of you have mentioned that some of your institutions don't have housing on campus. So could you talk about the efforts that exist to create community and to help students engage with each other on campus?
Well, here at college, actually, before attending this meeting, I attended a different meeting with our student activity board. We have clubs. That's what we do. That's what a lot of colleges do in the United States. They have clubs for just about anything that you want. Here at TF, basketball club, theater club, an international club for students who are international and those who are also domestics and just want to, I guess, conversate with one another. So universities and colleges are really good at having clubs. You'd be surprised at how many clubs they have. They even have, I read once recently that they even have a I Love Chocolate club for those who love chocolates at some universities. But that's what most universities and colleges do in order to foster a sense of community. Here at CF, we do that, but we also have International Orientation Day, which is basically where we gather all the new international students, orientate them about CF, about Ocala, the Ocala region. I also invite some of our previous international students to speak and also kind of sponsor or like keep an eye out on our new international students for 2 weeks. So that way they build a relationship and they have somebody to help them transition into Florida life. Because it is a change, coming from overseas to Florida. So we want to make that process easy for our students.
That's great. Okay, well, I want to make sure we get to any last questions we may have. Alguma última pergunta, gente? O chat continua aberto. All right, yeah. I think then I want to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for being here today. Of course, our participants, but especially our guest speakers today. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. It was incredibly informative. I have been recording our meeting today, so it will be available in our YouTube channel. And many of you have shared links for students to get in touch. Do I have your permission to share your emails as well, students? Is that okay? Great. Okay, so I'm definitely going to be doing that. So I believe we are about ready to wrap up, but does anyone have any last comments or anything else that they'd like to add for today? That's perfect. Okay, thank you very much. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye bye, everyone. Boa tarde, todo mundo. Até mais. Foi prazer todo mundo aqui. Tchau, tchau.
Bye bye.